Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Jo and this is Joey Sewy, where I talk about sewing, knitting, creativity and life. And today I've got a fabric dyeing tutorial for you, and I want to find out just how black fabric goes when you dye it black. So if you follow my channel, you will know that I have recently had a fabric dyeing disaster. I tried to dye some dungarees that I made off some Jenny overalls, my closet case patterns. I tried to dye them a darker colour because I'd made them as a wearable toile and really gone off the colour. And basically I got a horrible tie-dye effect by accident because I was using a half packet of dye and it was an old packet of dye, and basically it went wrong in a lot of ways. And so I thought I would find out how black does fabric go when you dye it with Dylon machine dye, following all the instructions properly, and that's what I'm going to do today. So I'll show you some pictures of how the fabric started out. What we've got here is a pillowcase and a single quilt cover. They are 100% cotton. We also have some t-shirt fabric which started out a pale pink colour, really pale, kind of almost a blush colour. Composition unknown, probably 100% or high percentage cotton. And then also to up the weight of the fabric, I put in some also composition unknown white and with black spots on it fabric. So because I wanted to follow everything by the book, I made sure I weighed the fabric and I used exactly the right amount. So I was going to use 2 packets of Dylon machine dye, and each packet claims if you use 600 grams of fabric you will get the desired results. So this was a colour called Intense Black. So in theory, if you're using 100% linen or 100% cotton fabric, you should get a full black result on 600 grams of fabric. I had 2 packets, so that's 1200 grams, and you can use more than one at once. I'm not sure I'd go upwards of 2 at once, but I guess it depends on the size of your machine and the size of the item that you are dyeing. So the total initial weight of the fabric was 1141 grams. So I could have gone as far as 1200 grams. I consider that fairly exact, that I was pretty much using the full amount. Here's how I dyed the fabric. As you saw, the pods themselves come with a plastic wrapper which I have stripped off, and then when you open them and take the seal off, this is what it looks like. They're full of, in this case, a black powder, and they're open at the top, and this is the state that you have to get them into to put them into the machine. You must pre-wash your fabric before you put it into dye, so you put it in the washing machine first, and even if you washed it before, it's a good idea to wash it anyway. If the fabric is new, it's a good idea to wash it anyway because sometimes they have finishes on them. And then you should take the fabric out of the machine and just uncrumple it and put it straight back in the machine because it must be damp when it goes in at first. So don't put dry fabric in. If you pre-wash it and then it dries out, you need to get it wet again. I attempted to do some tie-dyeing. I was happy to be a bit free and easy, so I was just tying knots into the t-shirt fabric. In the washing machine, all the knots came undone. So by the time the fabric came out, ironically, there was not any knot in there and it came out completely flat dyed, which is super ironic given that my latest mistake was attempting not to tie-dye, and on my Jenny overalls I got tie-dye by accident. But anyway, you place the pods in the centre of the machine, upwards like I'm showing, on top of the fabric. You then shut the door and then you put it onto a cotton cycle at 40 degrees. All of these instructions of course are on the pods themselves, and then you start the cycle. If you're anything like me, you then hang around the washing machine to see the exciting bit when the water comes in and the drum starts to go whatever colour. To be honest, black was the least exciting colour I've ever done because it just all went really dark really fast, as you can see, and from that point onwards it was just dark. But there was a moment where it went all exciting. And so shall we see the results? So on the quilt cover, these are the results. You saw in the initial film that it had a wavy pattern on it, and you can still see the wavy pattern now, but everywhere that was white has gone fairly black. In all honesty, from what I can see, the camera is actually amplifying that pattern. In real life, you can see the pattern with the naked eye, but it's not as obvious as here. And I was basically just dyeing these to go a little bit better with my son's bedroom. So I'm perfectly happy that you can see the pattern, but it's something that you should bear in mind, that if you are dyeing over a pattern, you're probably still going to be able to see the pattern through there. Equally, if you're dyeing to get rid of a stain, you're probably still going to be able to see the stain on the fabric. As for how intense the black is on this, it's not kind of full depth, deep black. It's more of maybe a summer black, which is like a washed out black. Again, for my use, there's no problem at all. But if you were after a really deep dark black, you're going to struggle to get that, I think, with this. On this one time try, but this is 100% cotton, you're going to struggle to get a really deep, dark, intense black by dyeing a fabric. So it depends what your needs are. So that was the 100% cotton sheeting. So the second fabric that I put into the machine, as I said, was a pale pink t-shirting. Now this has come out a really weird colour. It's coming up on your screen a little bit browner, but it definitely has that. It's kind of like a weird golden black colour. I don't mind it, and I'm still going to use it. So this was an scraps from a previous project, so it wasn't a rectangle, and I'm basically probably going to make a t-shirt with it, so I'm okay with how it's come out, but it is ever so strange. I'll give you a close-up. So it's bobbled a bit, which is about the fabric, not the dye, but you can see it's this strange golden black colour, and what puzzles me about it is that it was a pink, which you would assume was kind of a red based colour, and yet it's come out with this yellowness in the end. So yeah, another interesting experiment. It goes to show that you don't always know what you're going to get, because the pink was ever so pale. I thought it might go fairly pure black, but it was composition unknown, and possibly there is some polyester in there which doesn't take the dye. It takes dye, but not as well as cotton. So that is what I have got. Now the third fabric that I put into the machine was a white fabric with a black spot, and this is how that looks now. It's pretty much still a white fabric with a black spot. It's a little bit dirty, and it's picked up kind of a strange reddish tinge. Again, the camera seems to be amplifying that a little bit, but at least you get an idea of what I'm talking about. If I held this against the original piece, which I don't have a piece here now, but the original piece was much more in your face, brilliant, sort of chemical white. This is kind of passable as white, but almost like a dirty white. Honestly, I put this in to up the weight and to see what would happen. So I got an answer. What would happen is almost nothing. It's clearly a really synthetic fabric. I'm going to use this to try out eventually making bras and pants or underwear. So I don't really care what colour it is, because it's just for practicing those skills. But yeah, it just goes to show this can be in a washing machine with stuff that takes the dye and goes completely black, and still be largely unaffected. So how black is Dylon black? The answer is it depends what your fabric is. If it's heavily cotton or linen based, it's going to go pretty black. If it's not, it's not. And you can get other interesting results in between. So dyeing at home is an inexact science. You can make it more exact by being a bit more deliberate with the fabrics you choose, but the way I dye at home is I'm usually dyeing a specific thing to fix a problem with it. So I can't then think, oh well, I'll go and buy some linen instead because I know that'll take the dye perfectly, because that's not really the point of why I'm doing it. So yeah, you got to be flexible. Don't set your heart on a fixed result because you may not get it, but you can get some interesting results. And I do have some items here that are definitely more useful than before I started the process. So I hope you enjoyed that, and I hope you learned something. I'll be back really soon with another video. If you would like to watch another video from my channel, something will pop up here right now. If you haven't subscribed already, I would love it if you would subscribe, and of course there'll be a link that appears just as my face disappears. See you again soon. Bye.